Welcome to Killing Time. This is the show that searches for entertainment that does not suck. My name is Ayaz Akhtar. You might have seen me on the internet, or you might have just seen me a couple seconds ago saying you might have seen me. My friend with me, as always, is the illustrious man of 1,175 nicknames. That's right, I gave him a nickname off air since the last episode, and you don't even know what it is. I'm going to call him Bob. How's it going, Bob?
Going good. Going good. So what are we talking about today?
Today, we're going to talk about a movie I got to see at the glorious Alamo Drafthouse, which does not, I will repeat, does not sponsor this show, which it totally should.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
I spent a lot of money there, and it's okay to have drinks there. I'd like to talk about a movie called My Friend Dahmer. Now, this movie is about Jeffrey Dahmer in his teenage life. It also stars Anne Heche as his mother. Vincent Kartheiser from Mad Men is also one of the... Well, he plays a character in this film. He's kind of a minor character, but he's relatively important. And you get to see the life of Jeffrey Dahmer as he's trying to grow up in... Actually, wherever the hell he was. I don't know where he was. But he was just trying to become, you know, a person, an adult, which is not the easiest thing to do. And, spoilers, you know what happened to Jeffrey Dahmer. And you know what he is. That's why when I saw this trailer that I'm running right now, when I saw this trailer, I was like, I'm actually intrigued by this to see what kind of story we're going to get. Because this story is about a serial killer. And
pretty much, is it like the making of a serial killer or the childhood of a serial killer or...
Yeah, so I don't know the factual integrity of the picture. I know it's based on a graphic novel. I haven't read the graphic novel. I don't know how accurate it is when it comes to the facts. So I'm going to judge this based on the movie itself and alone, and then I'll kind of, I guess, relate that to what I saw in the news when I was growing up when we found out what Jeffrey Dahmer was. Because he's a monster. Like he's
absolute monster. Yes.
It is really
a very disturbed person.
Yeah. So I will say this: if you can see this in the theater, I don't think you need to. I think it plays fine on a television screen. It plays fine, maybe even on a YouTube screen. Like I have this trailer right now, and I think the story is really good. And I want to get to something clear here. This movie is only 107 minutes long, so it's pretty fast. This thing goes so X-Men is 100 minutes. This is 7 minutes extra. So this is a very quick movie. So there is no dragging in this movie. There's no, oh gosh, why are we still watching this? What's going on? Why? This is unnecessary. It's a very lean film. And I think it's really good because it kind of messes with your head. They actually paint Jeffrey Dahmer as a sympathetic character.
You actually feel sympathy for him.
Yeah.
But, wow.
So... in the story, so this I don't think it'll ruin the film if you know what the film is about. It's just his high school life, and he's trying to make friends. And if you had to guess, his parents are one of them is kind of nuts, and the other one is kind of not there, or is trying his best to be a good dad. So you've got the crazy mother played by Anne Heche, and Anne Heche is really good at playing unlikable characters. That's
her job.
That's what she does. She's also the most unlikable Lois Lane in the history of animated Superman movies. So
yes.
I think that's Superman Doomsday. Watch that if you want to get super pissed at Lois Lane constantly. Apart from that aside, back to Jeffrey Dahmer. The actor playing him, you can see that he's conflicted and he's obsessed with knowing what the insides of things are like. Not cars, not living things, but living things.
You mean like animals and things?
Yeah, so I mean we see some... How do I explain this? I don't want to give away everything about this film.
You see some inclinations to his future self.
Yes, there's a lot of leanings. And if you've ever heard of serial killers in the past, you know that they usually will test out their skills with animals, or they start their fascination with animals, and it builds, and you have that kind of situation. You have in this movie Jeffrey Dahmer, teenage character who is growing up, trying to find friends, trying to adjust to his life in his family. He's got a brother, and the brother likes him, and they actually get along, kind of. And so, like, it's another one of those, like, wait a second. Right, there is a brother, or I guess, actually, I got to look it up. There's a brother or not. Have you seen the trailer for this movie yourself?
Yes.
What did you?
Yes,
were you
I thought it was
seeing this?
interesting. I was interested in seeing it because I'm a big fan of a lot of true crime shows and kind of, profiling and things like that. So it's always interesting to me to see, even if it's not, the actual complete truth, how somebody became the way they were and how somebody can be so different from the norm, so to speak.
Yeah, so I'm looking up Dahmer myself right now to see. Yeah, he's got a brother, David.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I didn't know this. I'm looking at the Wikipedia right now.
So how long a period of time does this movie cover? Are we talking 1 year in the life of high school? Are we talking the entire high school experience?
It's more like junior to senior year kind of thing. And
okay.
I figure, I don't know if he's graduating by the end of this, but he kind of graduates to being who he's going to be at the end of this movie. We don't have, and here comes some spoilers now. So I don't think it's going to ruin anything when you watch this film. Actually, no, it will. Never mind. I'm not going to tell you this. This will be spoiler-free entirely because you should probably watch this movie. But we get to see like his side of life, his high school life. We're seeing like the simple annoyances of going to prom. And this guy's obviously kind of having a twisted life, but he's still got to do like all that normal stuff that we do when we're growing up.
Mm-hmm.
So you're seeing him trying to do this. We're seeing glimpses of what he's going to be, but not what he is. So you get all of these foreshadowing moments, and there's a lot of tension in the movie because you're not, at least I'm not exactly the greatest historian when it comes to Jeffrey Dahmer. So you don't know when some of these events are occurring in his life. So you don't know when any of this stuff's going to happen. So you're watching this movie and things are going on. And the acting is superb. The writing is really good. It's shot nicely. Again, like I said, no need. I can't think of a reason why you'd have to watch this on a giant screen unless you just want to see it as soon as possible. But it was very odd to have sympathy for this character because they do build him as sympathetic. Did you think that'd be possible in a film?
No. Not when you know the history of what he becomes, but I could see that there's got to be something that happens to him in his life, or his life's got to be not so good for him to end up the way he does. So I could see that I wouldn't say sympathy, but, seeing, how hard it could be for somebody who eventually does what he does.
Yeah, so let's go to his Wikipedia page, and you'll see what he's done in life, because, spoiler, this is pretty awful.
Yes.
It was in Milwaukee. He was known as the Milwaukee Cannibal. Didn't know that. He was an American serial killer and sex offender. Murder, dismemberment of 17 men and boys between 78 and 91. Necrophilia, cannibalism, preserving the parts. The horrible stuff. Diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. Had a bunch of mental problems here. And I believe he was murdered in jail. Yeah, beaten to death in 1994. So he had a pretty screwed up life. He had a pretty screwed up death, and don't make any mistake here. Jeffrey Dahmer, the man, is a monster, and I'm just saying in this film, trying to paint this guy as anything less is extremely difficult, and they successfully pull it off. That's the thing. It's really easy to have a one-note character like, oh, he's just really weird. Screw this guy. He's really weird. No, it takes a lot to... I used to read about a lot of serial killers, and I read about crime a lot. And there's usually like these horrible pattern of events that happen to these people that make them the way they are. And again, that's not to give any sympathy to them, but you have to understand the mind of a killer. If you're interested in that, go watch Mindhunter on Netflix. Great show.
Great show. Just as an aside, awesome show. Go watch it now.
Yeah, there's that. There's also, I think one of the reasons I got into some of these books is I was looking into, remember I watched Silence of the Lambs when I was really young. And it ran on TV. It was up during this like insomnia hour kind of theater, like at 3 a.m. So it wasn't really edited at all. It was just, here you go. Here's most of Silence of the Lambs on Channel 7 ABC, 3 a.m. in the morning. So I'm watching this thing, and I'm like, this is messed up. I want to understand what are these people thinking. And so I read a bunch of textbooks. I started reading about all kinds of crime stuff. And this is back when I would go to Amazon.com, which was a bookseller, and I would buy books on the subject matter, and I would read them on actual paper. So I've read a lot about this stuff.
Old school.
In the past, because, you got to read something. But yeah, true crime stuff is also interesting to me, but getting into the mind of a killer, that's bizarrely fascinating. I know that sounds weird. I might sound twisted, but some of this stuff,
No, there's a lot of people that love that. I mean, there's entire careers that are based on that. a lot of forensics is based on that, and profiling is based on that. So that's not unusual. It's interesting to see, the inner workings of someone's mind who is so different than your own.
Yes, that's the nicest way to put it. You go, you're not crazy. You just want to understand what crazy is. Or is it crazy? That's the other thing. That's another thing in Mindhunters that they hit upon a bunch. Like, it's not just a whack job lunatic. There are reasons why, and there are patterns of behavior that you need to understand to avoid these kinds of people in life, or avoid raising a child like this. Oh, that's another reason, by the way. Never want to be the parent of somebody like this. So
yes,
you got to kind of know that. If you guys don't know this, I've got a 7-year-old, and I'm like, I'm really hoping that he never does anything crazy, evil anyway. I mean, he could do crazy stuff. I mean, he could be a podcaster or something. That's crazy. Anyway, this has been such a light episode. The movie's really good. I say watch it. If you like true crime, watch it. If you don't find him sympathetic, I could believe that. If you find the story to be a little short, I think the movie's a little short. But I think it's definitely worth your time. Is it better than Daddy's Home 2? Yes. Yes, it is. Okay?
That's a pretty low bar.
I know, but I'm going with it. So I'm going to go with that. And with that, let us thank our glorious patrons who are backing our show, wondering what in the hell are they doing, because they are giving us money to do this show, and we really appreciate that. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for letting us just chat about movies and television and whatever else we're doing. I know I talked a lot about audiobooks in the past, so really appreciate the fact you guys are watching, interested, and again, if we can help you guys in any way, like, don't watch Daddy's Home 2, we try to do that. Okay?
Yes.
We would try our best so you guys don't have to suffer through the same amount of garbage we did. And I was really surprised that My Friend Dahmer was a good film, because if it wasn't, I would be telling you guys this. Like, I took a risk with that. I'm like, this film could really stink. So, really glad that you guys are there supporting us. If you want to be a part of that list that you see right now, you can go to patreon.com/IAS, and you can join our Patreon and try to support us as much as you can. And with that, is there anything you'd like to say?
I'd like to say that I think I'm going to have to go see that movie now. After all you've said, my interest is piqued.
And there you go. I think if you want to watch more episodes, we actually are releasing episodes weekly. Maybe sometimes more. Sometimes we actually put up extra stuff at patreon.com/IAS. So if you support the show at any level, you get access to extra videos, which we are doing more and more of. So it's a nice slow burn. We're really getting into our groove right now. Why would you need a slow burn for a groove? I don't know. I guess you're a pyrotechnician or something.
Yes.
Sorry, this is the way my mind works. And with that, if you want to see more episodes of Killing Time, go to killingtime.tv. We'll have links to everything. You'll be able to watch whatever you want. You can have links to trailers. I don't have links to trailers. I'll figure something out. And now, I'm going to get out of here and shut my mouth. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.